Good evening and welcome to the Picket Fire Virtual Community Meeting for Sunday, August 24th, 2025. My name is Jazz Shaw, Public Information Officer. First, I would like to give the most up-to-date acreage and containment numbers. The Picket Fire is currently 6,803 acres with 11% containment, and we currently have 2,045 personnel assigned to the fire. Next, you'll be hearing from subject matter experts who will be sharing information about current suppression efforts, fire behavior, and evacuations. If our viewers have additional questions that are not answered during the presentation, please submit your questions in the comments section so that they can be addressed at the conclusion of the presentation. To provide you with updates, we will start with the Operations Section Chief, Steve Chapman.
Good evening, Steve Chapman, Operations Section Chief with Incident Management Team 4 for the Picket incident. Today there was no significant fire growth. The fire remained in its current footprint. Looking at the map, north of Calistoga on the southern end of the fire, coming up and around on the left flank, the crews are in there mopping up, hardening, and improving control lines. On the north end of the fire up top, the fire remains south of Twin Peaks and south of Etna Springs Road. Down on the right flank of the fire, that's where most of the smoke you saw today and yesterday, those are interior islands that were burning off, well interior with no threat to the line. They're continuing to get in there and mop up, improve control lines, and continuing to the southern end of the fire, much of the same. The smoke you saw today was those interior islands with no threat to the control lines that are currently in place. End of report.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we'll have fire behavior with Alexander Geary.
Good evening. My name is Alex Geary. I'm the Fire Behavior Analyst with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4 for the Picket incident. Today, fire behavior was generally more moderated than we have seen in previous days, and we're anticipating that to continue tomorrow also. Generally, the fire exhibited backing and smoldering, which is the burning of heavy materials that are deadened down well interior from containment lines. The largest risk currently will come from any burning material that potentially dislodges and rolls downhill into unburned material. Moving into weather, we're going to continue to see warm and dry conditions. Tomorrow, we should see temperature in the mid to upper 80s with humidity in the 30 to 40% mark. Winds will be northeast in the morning, switching to southwest as we've seen the last couple days in the afternoon. Overnight, temperature should come down into the 60s with the humidity coming up to about 70% at its maximum. And we are anticipating some thermal belt development in the 1,500 foot to 2,000 foot mark. And in those areas, we could see temperatures that are slightly warmer and a little bit drier with some increased fire activity. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Napa County Sheriff, Oscar Ortiz.
Thank you, Oscar Ortiz, Napa County Sheriff. Today, we were able to lift a couple of evacuation orders at the west end of the fire, kind of in the area where the assault started. We were able to lift the evacuation order for those residents on Rosedale and Pickett Road. We ask that people keep it for residents and stay out of the area, but the road is, or the evacuation order is now lifted, and we're encourage those folks to return to their homes. We still have an evacuation order in evacuation zone POP 001B, like Bravo. That's essentially all the addresses on Etna Springs Road, so that evacuation order remains in place. And then we were also able to lift another evacuation order on James Creek Road. So that is just an evacuation warning now, and that's been lifted. So that is it. The only other request for the community is to use caution when driving on Pope Valley and Butts Canyon Road. There's still a lot of firefighter activity and trucks moving up and down. So please use caution also on Sobrado Trail as the different teams from our fire partners go up and down to and from the fire from the incident command posts. To please use caution, especially during the traffic hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Next, we have the CAL FIRE Sonoma-Lake-Napa Unit Chief, Matt Ryan.
Good evening. My name is Matt Ryan. I'm the Sonoma-Lake-Napa CAL FIRE Unit Chief and the Fire Chief of Napa County Fire Department. First, I'd like to say this is much different than 2020 and the glass fire. Napa County is much more prepared today than it was 5 years ago. With the investments of the Board of Supervisors in fire prevention and fuels treatment, with the establishment of 22 fire-wise communities, Napa County is now prepared. The strengths of our Napa County volunteers, we were able to surge in during the initial attack phase of this incident with our volunteers, with mutual aid resources from across the county and into other counties. It has been amazing to watch, especially with our Firewise communities, the fuel treatments projects that have been completed. We really exercised and utilized those control lines and those fuel treatment projects to control this fire and keep it where it is today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Ryan. Next, we have our Incident Commander, Dusty Martin.
Good evening. My name is Dusty Martin, and I'm the Incident Commander for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Today was the first day that our Incident Management Team was brought in to be able to support Napa County, support the Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, and the Napa County Sheriff's Department. What an Incident Management Team is, it's a group of individuals that are brought in from across the state of California with additional training, additional resources to be able to come and support the community. We took command of the incident this morning at 1000 hours. As you've heard today, we have had an increase in our personnel over the last couple of days. We've gone up above 2,000 firefighters that are working tirelessly 24 hours a day on the ground to bring containment to this incident. Our acreage has stayed in its footprint for throughout the day today, but I don't want to take that lightly. There's still a large potential out there. We heard from our fire behavior analyst with rolling material, and there is a lot of work for the firefighters out there to bring containment to this. We've got control lines around, but we have to make sure that they are solid and can contain the fire. As our fire behavior analyst spoke today, he talked about a thermal belt. And what that thermal belt means is as the temperatures in the valley and the relative humidities temperatures go down and the relative humidities may go up, there's a pocket of warm, dry air that sits at that higher elevation that is different than what you're feeling in the valley and aids in the burning throughout the nighttime. And we're going to have that over this incident for the next couple of days as we move forward. One of our top priorities for Team 4 is to bring normalcy back to the community. We do understand that this community this is not new, having fires in the area, and our top priority is to start to bring that normalcy back. And part of that was working with the Sheriff's Department today to start reducing some of those evacuations, and we're going to continue to evaluate that every day. Our goal is to get every single person back into their home as fast as possible. We have to do that and make sure it's safe to do so, but we are evaluating that multiple times throughout the day to ensure that. With that, I hope you have a great night, and we'll take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Martin. It looks like we did have a couple of follow-up questions. We are going to take our time during this section as we open up the comment and questions portion of the Facebook Live. We did have a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, so we want to make sure that we can get the questions written down. I do believe we have a couple. So first we're going to start out with Unit Chief Matt Ryan.
Okay, question number one. How long do you expect resources will be in the region for this fire? So it's a pretty complex question. Not only are we here to suppress the fire, but we're here to also bring the landscape back to where it was before the fire started. For the suppression efforts, depending on how things go in the next couple days, We get line around the fire, we start mopping up, 100 feet in, 300 feet in, start getting rid of those nuisance smokes. May take a few days. And then as that occurs, we will begin our suppression repair process where all those bulldozer lines, hand lines, we need to get back to where it was prior to the fire environment being there. So anticipation, is usually with where the fire sits today, we anticipate probably 7 to 10 days, and through that, our footprint will continue to reduce. Thank you very much.
Okay, it looks like we have a question for Sheriff Ortiz.
Yes, the question submitted is how many people are evacuated? Throughout the incident, we've tried to minimize the number of people evacuated, as we've shared earlier. I think at the peak, we were estimated a total of 150 people. It's hard to estimate exactly how many people live in each house, but at its peak, we estimated less than 150. Currently, we're estimating, because of what we were able to lift today, the orders we were able to lift, our best estimate is somewhere in the area of 50 to at most 100, but probably less than 50 people currently impacted by evacuation order. I will also add that we have not had to open, we did open a shelter because the impact was so small, nobody showed up. And so we have not had to open a shelter. So I think that's important to add that.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. That was great information. We have a question for Operations Section Chief Steve Chapman.
The question we have is, what is the terrain like where the fire is burning? It's steep, rugged, inaccessible terrain, giving the firefighters a long time to walk in, a long access, ingress, egress to where the fire is currently burning. With that also, where the fire footprint has resided into and staying in now is all due to local fuel breaks and vegetation management projects that have gone on to this point.
Okay, thank you. I believe that we're going to, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties regarding writing down and getting the questions from the chat tonight. So we're going to work on that and make sure that we get all of your questions answered for tomorrow night's Facebook Live. That will be at the same time. So if you want any additional information, please go to the incident page, visit CAL FIRE LNU on Facebook and X, as well as the CAL FIRE website. That is fire.ca.gov. Again, fire.ca.gov. This concludes our community meeting for this evening, and thank you for your time, and thank you to all of our speakers. Good night.